Do you have a never-ending crush on ballerina Cappuccina? Does it make you lose control? If yes, then my friend, today's video is just what you would need to goon. So with your daily dose of brain rot ready for consumption, let's begin our recap. The manhwa opens with a girl asking the Duke to step aside. She makes it clear that they are not bound by any kind of contract and also demands that he stop showing up unannounced. But the Duke, instead of backing off, asks her what she means, as if she is unable to understand his intentions. He then drops the bomb. He never said that he had ended it. And just to make things extra dramatic, he straight up kisses her legs, telling her not to run away from him. Like, girl, what is this energy? He's giving Delulu Duke vibes. Our female protagonist is a ballerina. After the sudden attack that took her parents, a man appeared in front of her, claiming to be her uncle. And wow, this man never even bothers to hide his overflowing greed for money. He openly declares to others that the inheritance is supposed to go to the oldest son. But since her parents didn't have a son, he thinks the estate must go to the closest male relative. And of course, that's him? Ugh, the audacity. To escape this man, who reaches out only because of his bottomless greed, she has to find a way to survive. So she turns to enrollment in the Royal Academy of Arts, which strictly restricts entry to outsiders, including family members. For someone like her, who loves ballet with all her heart, the academy enrollment papers her parents signed before their passing are the final gift they left her. This is the only way she can protect herself while running away from her uncle's claws. If she is able to be recognized as the lead today, she will finally become independent and join a foreign ballet company. But her uncle, being the absolute menace he is, tells her to prepare herself for marriage. She notes how he is still rude as ever. She tells him that they will talk about it after tomorrow's performance, but he shouts back that he already let her waste time on something as useless as ballet, so now she needs to listen to him. Like, sir, calm down. Why are you pressed about pirouettes? She asks why he is in such a rush, since there is only one day left. But he says that important people are coming to today's performance, so what will happen if her value drops in front of them? This stupid word, value, makes her sick. Imagine being treated like she's a stock market share. He tells her that besides all that, she is soon going to be an adult, so her showing up with her dead parents, signature everywhere, will not be helpful to her anymore. He also adds that the rumors about her parents' wealth were fake. He claims she has no idea how difficult it is to run that business with such little money, but she bites her lips because, hello? If he is really struggling, then how is he flexing in gold and luxury goods like he's a walking Gucci ad? Girl, he's giving broke but pretending rich energy. He assures her not to worry, saying he is going to marry her off to someone good, so she better drop the performance. But she says that it could happen that during the performance, someone might take an interest in her. The humiliation she is forced to bear is really hard, but no matter what, she knows she needs to stand on today's stage. This is the last chance for her to escape this man. She even points out that someone might come to her, and it might be a good opportunity for someone to take a liking to her. She asks why they don't take this as an opportunity. So here she is, getting ready, knowing the stage is not just about ballet, it's her battlefield, her one ticket to freedom. As she thinks, there is no guarantee that there is going to be any future with this career, and it might actually be good if she could just run away to a faraway place after this performance ends. She thinks this is not rationalization, it is facing reality. Someone calls her name Emily and asks if she is here. This girl is super excited, as she tells Emily that today, the Duke, Enric, is also going to see the performance. Emily thinks this is fine, but she has heard rumors that he is uninterested in ballerinas. Enric is known for collecting art blindly, yet despite him being so famous, there is not much information about him. But the girls don't care. After all, he is a duke, and not just any duke, but the youngest, wealthiest, and most elegant man in the entire kingdom. Like, he's literally the NPC every girl wants to unlock. The teacher comes in, shocking them, as she says this is an imperial inspection, and she can't believe that they are thinking about such silly things when they are about to give their performance. The girls instantly feel the weight of reality, because the show is about to start in less than 10 minutes. The teacher also reminds both Bella and Emily that the company is going to focus the most on the two of them, so they had better make good use of this chance. The show starts, and after a few minutes, it ends. We see Emily packing her bag when she thinks that if she doesn't run away now, she is never going to get another chance again. She saw how her uncle was planning to marry her off as soon as possible. But even in that state, being surrounded by so many people, he must have been thinking that her value had increased. So now it is the only time for her to get out of here and escape this suffocating situation. She leaves, still wondering if she is even going to get an ID, and this is why she thinks it will be better if she just boards a ship and leaves this country entirely. But as she is thinking this, someone approaches her and asks if she is free. She asks them what the matter is. The man says that the Duke is waiting for her in the carriage. And girl, when the Duke himself pulls the waiting in the carriage card, you already know things are about to get peak manhwa messy. The Duke tells her that she looks busy, and honestly, the luggage she's carrying doesn't exactly scream going out for a chill walk. It's giving more like, I'm about to dip and never look back. He throws the question straight at her, asking if she was actually planning to run away. Emily insists that it isn't like that, but the Duke scoffs and basically says he'll just pretend to believe her like, bro really said, sure Jan. Emily then asks Enric why he's even here looking for her in the first place. He tells her that he enjoyed watching her doing ballet, and that's why he's here, ready to sponsor her. She thanks him, but quickly adds that due to personal reasons, she might not be able to continue doing ballet. He glares at her hard, like, if looks could kill, this would be a crime scene, demanding if she's seriously not going to dance anymore, even though he personally came all the way to her asking her to do it. Emily makes it clear, crystal clear, that no matter what he offers, her decision isn't changing. The Duke, being all extra, teases her that if that's the case, how will she react when he tells her the truth behind her parents' death? That one hits like a truck. Emily freezes, shocked, and asks him to repeat it. He points out that he's here to tell her something about her parents' deaths, especially the so-called suspicious accidents. She twitches, because the way he's phrasing it is sus, like he knows way more than he's letting on, and maybe someone really was behind their deaths. So Emily finally asks what kind of sponsor relationship he actually wants. He tells her his conditions are simple. He just wants her to dance like a living doll if she wants to know the truth. Emily, trying to hold her ground, says that in that case she would like to know a little more of the truth, because without that, she can't accept this contract. He looks at her and drops the mic, telling her she's mistaken about something. She doesn't even have a choice, because the moment he found her, her whole escape plan was already ruined. Emily says that it doesn't matter, because in that case she can just stay here and investigate herself. The Duke mocks her, asking if she really thinks she can pull that off. To that, Emily goes quiet, because the reality check is brutal. It wasn't an accident from just a year or two ago, but something that happened 7 years ago. Hiring someone to investigate that kind of cold case would take an insane fortune, and she doesn't have that kind of money. On top of that, if her uncle drags her away from this place and marries her off like some bargaining chip, she won't even have the chance to investigate anything. So she lowers her pride for a moment and asks him to please give her time to think. Back at the house, Emily plans to refuse and once again thinks about her next plan to escape. But a lingering feeling won't go away. What if there really was someone behind her parents' accident? And even if there wasn't, shouldn't she at least try to find out? If her life is destined to be unfree no matter what she does, then ballet is the only gift her parents have left for her. She thinks maybe she can use ballet to achieve something. The next day, her uncle is lashing at her, demanding what exactly is happening between her and Duke Enric. He says the Duke's aide came to him that morning, claiming the Duke is interested in investing in her. Emily wonders, because hold up, she only just started wanting to have funds. She wonders just how much this Duke actually knows about her, waiting for her in the dark like that, and then suddenly approaching her as an investor. The timing is way too perfect to be called coincidence. She tries to explain to her uncle that it isn't like that she saw Enric for the first time only at the performance. But her uncle isn't buying it. He's convinced she's getting private funds and hoarding a lot of money behind his back. She shouts back that it isn't like that, but he's furious. He spits at her that she's just a means for him to make money, so she shouldn't dare to act sneaky. He asks if she even realizes what the hell he has given her, and says she needs to appreciate all of that useless stuff. She's exhausted, completely tired of all of this. If this hellish future is all she has left, then maybe finding out the truth about her parents, death might give her a reason to live. She thinks that Enric might be right. The path he's laid down for her might be the best option she has. But she's sad, because what if he merely brought up her parents just to use her? Her uncle again demands what her relationship with the Duke actually is. Emily says to him, calmly but firmly, that she met the Duke for the first time on the performance day, and he simply wanted to sponsor her. She wanted to consult with her uncle about it, but the Duke was rather hasty. Her uncle clears his throat, says she's right, and that she made the right choice. Then he asks what she is planning to do now. Emily acts as if the marriage he's planning might actually be a good option. But at the same time, she wonders if Duke Enric can even be compared to other nobles. And before wrapping this all up, she adds that the sponsorship will also benefit her uncle, so he should consider it. She even smiles, basically offering herself up and asking him to just use her. Her uncle says that this is right, that they really can't just turn down the request of the Duke like that, but then he makes this weird face, asking if she is really going to be satisfied with just a mere sponsor. This alarms her and makes her feel nauseous. Her uncle points out that she is in her prime, and it's going to be useless to just cope with some lame sponsoring. And then he has the audacity to suggest that she should try seducing the Duke. She instantly tenses up, demanding what he is even talking about, but her uncle tells her to stop acting all innocent. He insists that the Duke is also a man, and questions if she really thinks he is just interested in her dance. He keeps rambling that while she's at this, she should also aim for the position of Duchess, and even says that if she is unable to please him, he will at least take her as his mistress. It's so disgusting that she feels like throwing up right on the spot. Her uncle keeps adding to the nonsense, stressing that the Duke's family is insanely rich and that he is going to hand over to her a lot of money if she plays her cards right. She feels the urge to grab a pasta stirrer and shove it straight into her uncle's mouth just to stop him from spewing one more cursed word. She can't take it anymore, and she absolutely refuses to let a single disgusting syllable leave his lips. Meanwhile, at the Duke's mansion, he catches sight of Emily from the window. He pauses, thinking if he should bring up that little carriage accident first with her. Back then, he brushed it off, but now it's starting to look useful. His aide walks in and tells him that Emily has arrived, and just like that, the two of them are sitting face to face. Emily mentions that she wanted to come to him earlier, but ended up getting late. Enric adds that he also thought she would come yesterday, right after talking with her uncle. She explains that she actually heard some sketchy stuff regarding her uncle's business and questions whether that is also part of the contract. He says that to make her dance well, he is going to give her the best environment, so all that she needs to do is satisfy his eyes. She is feeling major nerves, like her stomach is literally doing TikTok transitions, but she still wishes he would explain the contract more in detail. He first presents the contract along with an envelope that contains her reward for signing it. It is about the accident he mentioned before. He adds that this is just a fragment of the truth, and the longer the contract lasts, the more she is going to learn about the truth. Enric notices that compared to the last time he saw her at the carriage, she is actually radiant now. It is not as satisfying as when she dances, but still, he thinks about putting some jewelry on her too. Dressing her up, even for casual occasions, would be way more enjoyable. But he also thinks that flashy jewelry might ruin her beauty, so a clear diamond would suit her better. Honestly, thinking about all this styling business is kind of fun, but what he is truly looking forward to is her dance. Enric then asks if he should prepare a room for her, completely shocking her. He explains that it might take her a whole day just to complete reading the contract. Emily admits that there are way too many legal terms for her to get through, so he summarizes it for her. If she is able to dance 3 times a week at his mansion, he is going to give her fragments of the truth, and she is basically signing up right away. As a courtesy, he is also going to give her a truth immediately, but that one is just about dancing. He adds that she needs to satisfy him too. Emily feels this is rather vague, because it might change with his mood and preferences, but he assures her that is exactly why he made this contract last only a year. If he loses interest in her, she is still going to get the truth. She asks what if he purposely creates a reason to blame her and withhold the evidence. He smirks, noting that she is getting much bolder, and points out that he is not a man with time to waste. If he gets bored, he is simply going to end it right away. Hearing all this, she realizes that nothing in the contract is actually against her, and after all, it is the only way for her to find the truth about her parents' death. The contract is signed, and he immediately reveals that the carriage her parents were riding was missing a crucial part, and that the coachman was found dead outside the carriage. Trembling, she points out that she had heard the carriage overturned when the wheel came off, and wonders if the coachman might have just fallen off. Enric says that it is hard to believe because the coachman was found a long distance from the carriage. This makes her flinch. He grabs her hand and interlocks it with his, telling her that for today, this is enough. Emily asks him about the evidence, but he says that he is going to show it next time. She remembers how he had stopped her uncle from getting close to her and even given her the heads up about her parents' accident, but she has not gotten a single thing until now. He tells her that, honestly, the car crash had been investigated thoroughly, but the early records were destroyed and everything was rushed off, saying it was just an accident. Emily questions him about why that hurt so much, but Enric mentions that it is his job to uncover the truth, so she just needs to focus on herself, because he low-key likes things. At the academy, Emily notices that Belle is really nervous and asks her if she wants to step out for a moment, but Belle insists she is fine and says it might be better if they talk about something else. Belle then asks Emily if she has heard about the body they found floating in the Babo River. Apparently, it was near the slums, and word on the street is that they might not investigate it too deeply, since the body was too decomposed to even identify who it was. Belle thinks that with things like this, they need to be really careful. Someone suddenly arrives and asks why Belle is even here after the audition. The girl scoffs that Belle really thought she was good enough to approach. Belle, serving sass, tells Eva that she is hardly any better to be acting like the judge here. This makes Eva extremely angry, and she spits that Belle is just a permanent extra. Belle claps back, saying that Eva doesn't know much, but one thing is for sure, she is not in the same league as Emily. Someone quickly arrives and takes Eva away before the fight can start. Belle shakes her head and says it is really stupid that Eva is always bargaining about random stuff here, like who showed up at the party. Then someone else arrives, and it is the guy who showed up at the party of the performance, none other than the director of the ballet company. Emily notices that just now he glared at her, but she wonders if it was just her imagination. At the ballet practice room, all the great chiefs and directors are present today. The announcer declares that the new members' results are going to be announced after the audition. Those who pass can participate in the afternoon audition for the last few roles, and finally, the new members' audition begins. It is Emily's turn. The judges note that she graduated top of her class, and as expected, her movements are all flawless. But the ballet director says that to him she does not seem that perfect. He sniffs and tells the other judges that they must be new to this kind of thing. But in this matter, the judging kit needs extra care, so he asks them to refrain from jumping to conclusions, leaving them all speechless. After her performance is done, Emily goes outside only to meet with Anton, who is glad that she noticed him. Anton is literally giving main character energy vibes right there. The name is the same as the guy with whom she danced 2 years ago, back when he first joined the ballet company. He was so talented that he landed the lead in the year-end performance. He tells her that she was really amazing back then, and that the judges had been unable to take their eyes off her. He even asks her what role she is planning to audition for this afternoon, and adds that she could easily go for a first soloist. Emily replies that she will be happy even after getting the second solo, but Anton insists that she could easily get the lead role. It is just that Emily has already made up her mind after signing the contract with Enric. She refuses to let herself stand out too much anywhere, because no matter how good Enric is at covering up stuff but F-word gets out about their deal, it is going to turn into trashy gossip. And if her uncle ever gets wind of it, he will lose his mind and again pressure her to marry him. She tells Anton that it is not the right time. Of course, there is no way she can hide this thing forever. She is barely buying some time, just until she finds out the truth about her parents. She just wants a little more time, period. After lunch, the audition for the roles resumes, with both existing and new members trying out. The auditions move quickly, and finally, it is Emily's group's turn to audition. The judges are shocked, saying it is surprising because they really thought Emily would go for the lead. She is already slaying too much, so they think they should make her the lead. But the director stopped them, asking that no exceptions be made. From his perspective, things must stay fair, because their company is getting major investment, and they cannot tolerate any kind of discord. On the very day that Emily signed the contract with Enric, he gave her the house key to his estate. The house is on the outskirts, where no one is going to notice anything, but honestly, getting this type of material support feels too heavy for her. An aide comes and tells her that the Duke is waiting to meet her. He adds that he wants to coordinate the draft and decide when she is going to start the transaction. Emily thinks that they could have thought about this on the day of the contract signing. The aide asks if she would like to see the interior first. She says no, she just came to check the place. He tells her that they have stocked the mansion with all the things she might need, but if she still needs anything, she can just call him. To her, it feels like the weight keeps piling up. At the Duke's mansion, he is sitting, and the silence is suffocating to him. In this kind of dim mood, the memories of his childhood creep back. His mother used to say to him that he was the dark fate of his mother, and she just needed to follow and keep quiet. This and everything else became his identity. But he notes that Emily is stacking everything she has onto something as useless as family. Thanks to that, though, he can get closer to her. And the more he gets close, the more fascinating she is becoming to him. Like, bro is literally in his mysterious Duke villain crush era. She is finally now at the Duke's mansion, and she heads straight to her room, only to see that no one is here. She wonders, low-key confused, that maybe he is not back home yet. But then someone suddenly calls her from behind, asking what she is doing. It is Enric. He appears out of nowhere, like a jump-scare TikTok filter, and he asks her if she was waiting for him to sit down. This sudden shock of him pulling up like that almost makes her lose her balance, and she is just about to fall when he catches her. He realizes, with that smug aura that only he carries, that he would like her to help him sit, and he takes her hand in the damage control solution, making her wonder what on earth he is even doing. He walks her toward the chair with that smooth confidence and helps to pull the chair out, then makes her sit on it. He leans on the chair close to her, like he is casually invading her bubble, and says that she needs to have some warm food because if she loses some more weight, she will be unable to dance. Honestly, he sounds like a concerned gym bro trying not to make it weird. Emily says to herself that she better not waver, because even if he has gotten interested in her ballet right now, there is no guarantee that this interest will last for long. She knows, straight up, that if his interest in her starts to decline, then the information she will be getting will come cheaper too, like it's going on discount sale. And she is not about to risk that. So for just 1 year, she knows she must never make this man waver in that time. Finally, it is the time for her to dance for him. She starts to move, and when the dance is all complete, Enric notes, as expected, that it was a satisfying choice. He tells her to just keep dancing among the eyes she did today, and in that case, the reward that she will be getting will increase even more. He then asks his aide to bring the flowers, and taking the flowers in his hands, he goes and gives them to her, congratulating her over her first performance back at home. She stares at the flowers and thinks that he is really such an unpredictable man, like a mystery loot box she never asked for, and she just wants this time to pass by quickly. Everyday life gradually falls into place after that, and greeting the head maid becomes a routine, almost like clocking into a 9-to-5 but in noble mansion vibes. Dancing for Enric and riding the disgusted carriage as from work and to work also becomes a duty of hers. There she meets the second prince. He calls out to her, and when she sees him, she greets him politely, but seeing her being this formal, he says she doesn't need to do this. After all, they were once close. But she says that back then they were just kids. She thinks to herself that she must have been much too rude back then and asks him to forgive her, but he brushes it off, saying that she was too kind back then too, like she was out here being everyone's comfort character. This man is Alex, and also the future emperor of the kingdom. 2 years ago, she came to the capital due to her father's business, and there she met Alex. Even though he was the crown prince, she always enjoyed his company more than ever when they were together. She just met him for 2 or 3 times, but after that, she left the capital, and they lost contact too. Alex says sorry to her, that he heard about her parents but couldn't make it at that time. She assures him that him saying he wanted to come is more than enough, like she's not expecting him to be some overachieving superhero. He then questions why she is here in the capital again. She says that she is here in the ballet company, and wonders if he is going to think that ballet is an unworthy talent. But his response is rather positive. He says that this is great, since even as a child she used to love ballet a lot. She wonders, how did he even remember that? He smiles, saying that thanks to their fond memories, he does. He also adds that he is here to discuss some stuff about the ballet, as the kingdom has decided to promote the ballet this time. He asks her to keep his coming here a secret. She smiles, saying of course she will keep this a secret. He thanks her for this and then says that in that case he will take his leave, assuring her that they will meet again one day. But as soon as she is leaving, she wonders how he has the same blood as the Duke Enric, like, hello, family DNA speedrun. Yet they are so different. A few days later, it is finally the time for her dance to show to the Duke, but today is also the day that she can finally get the information from him too. Her uncle suddenly comes from behind and shouts at her. He grabs her and asks her to end the sponsorship right now. Emily, totally blindsided, asks him what the hell he is talking about all of a sudden. But he just keeps shouting at her to cut ties with the Duke right now, like he's dropping some unskippable cutscene drama out of nowhere. She pushes him back with more force than she intended, then tells him to chill out and lower his volume before the whole neighborhood starts live streaming the drama in their heads. She also throws in the question of why he is suddenly acting like this. Like one moment he's calm, and the next he's giving full-on soap opera energy. He tells her that she doesn't need to know the details, that she should just do as he says, all boss mode and mysterious, as if he's auditioning for some dark K-drama villain role. She reminds him that if he really wants to end the sponsorship, they'll need a legit reason, something with receipts, and also that they'll have to return everything they got from the Duke. He shouts, almost like his lungs are trying to start a heavy metal band, that he can return what he took from them, so she just needs to handle the talking part. She blinks at him, kind of shook, and asks if he seriously thinks the Duke is just going to snatch back the things he gave them like it's Amazon returns, with free shipping. She wonders why he's acting like this out of nowhere, like who updated his firmware overnight. She tells him flat out that either way, she's going to see the Duke, especially since it's already getting late and somebody has to move like the main character here. Meanwhile, Enric is at the art museum, twitching slightly like a man who has just seen spoilers for a show he hasn't started yet. He is standing before a painting, gazing at it with that expression of someone decoding life through brushstrokes. While staring at the artwork, he thinks that usually, calm things stay chill. But sometimes even something serene can crash strong like waves, and that unexpected storm vibe is what makes it interesting. It's not something fragile or easy to break, but something layered, stubborn, and alive. This painting, in particular, gives him that exact energy, and it feels almost unsettlingly familiar. He tells the owner of the painting that he's leaving this piece to him, like passing down some emotional mixtape no one else can play. Just as he's turning away, Enric is back in his own cool aura when suddenly he notices his aide standing there. But not alone. Nah, the aide has rolled up with someone else. And that makes the scene flip from chill museum vibes to, okay, what's this side quest suddenly doing in my main storyline moment? The aide asks Enric if he has seen everything, and Enric replies that yes, that's right. He doesn't need to look at anything else. Then he casually asks who was with his aide just now, because the vibe was definitely not solo mission. His aide explains that the guy is from the Royal Palace Medical Department and that apparently a ball was announced this very morning. Enric raises a brow and asks what the occasion is. His aide explains that the invitation was extended to a princess from the Kingdom of Karnt, supposedly to promote, quote, taste and friendship between the two nations. Basically, diplomatic tea party vibes, but with gowns. Enric asks his aide if the ball was the Crown Prince's brainchild. The aide confirms with a quick yep. Enric just shrugs it off, saying it has nothing to do with him, then smoothly shifts the conversation by asking about Emily. His aide answers that she is practicing well, but she seems a little unsatisfied with her current role, like she knows she's built for main character energy, but is stuck in a side quest. He also adds that Emily met the Crown Prince today, and the two of them actually seemed happy to see each other. Enric instantly narrows his eyes, asking why on earth the Crown Prince was being all buddy-buddy. The aide explains that Emily and the Crown Prince actually met when they were kids in the capital. Enric scoffs, rolling his eyes like he just read the worst fanfiction ever, and says that for such a tiny memory, the Crown Prince is still ridiculously overjoyed, almost sus-level overjoyed. He mutters that he doesn't know what that man is plotting this time, but it reeks of a scheme. Enric orders his aide to keep an eye on the Crown Prince before things spiral into chaos. His aide then politely asks if Enric would like to be escorted back to the mansion. Enric agrees, and also tells him to call the jeweler too, because apparently multitasking is his middle name. Later, after Emily's third performance, Enric claps for her, his hands sharp and deliberate, and says that she did good work. He adds that since this was like her first real achievement, it's time for her first reward. He tells her to come to the dining room after finishing up the third performance she just wrapped for him. She changes into casual clothes, trying to reset her stage mode, while the aide escorts her to the dining room. At the dining table, Enric tells her they should first eat during dinner. No skipping meals just because drama is happening. Between bites, he casually drops the bomb that he's heard her uncle has been bothering her. Emily is confused, wondering if he already knows the details and still wants to poke around, or if he just knows her uncle came to see her. So she explains that her uncle told her to cancel the sponsorship. Enric scoffs at that, like, seriously? And asks why she didn't. Emily makes it crystal clear that she didn't do it because she needs to know the truth about her parents' accident. And Rick points out that the fact she stood her ground actually pleased him a lot. So as an aside gift for her, he's going to make sure her uncle doesn't bother her for a while. But still, he wonders aloud why her uncle suddenly wanted to end the sponsorship. It seems fishy, almost like a hidden boss fight. Enric admits he doesn't fully understand what her uncle said to her, but he remembers her uncle practically begging him earlier that it was all a misunderstanding. The uncle had tried to argue that he just thought it would be better if Emily married into a good family, like he was returning her to the market with discount stickers. Back in the present moment, Enric tells Emily straight up that she won't find any better sponsor than him, so she just needs to focus on her performances. Then he says it's finally time to move towards the reward. He hands her a stack of documents, and with a deliberate pause, adds that the evidence shows, based on the defective carriage parts, that her parents' accident was actually part of a planned murder. He adds that the details are in this document, and she can check for herself. The accident, he explains, happened on a deserted mountain near her hometown, a road that most carriages avoided because the surface was uneven and super sketchy. She notices that even her parents usually didn't take that road either, and back then she didn't suspect anything at all, because to her it simply seemed irrelevant. Meanwhile, he has been out here playing detective, investigating the maid squad, and basically every servant in the household like it's some kind of drama. He looks at her while she's crying, and she throws out the big question. How and why? Would someone even try to do anything like this? He had always thought her tears would just ruin her innocent vibe, but the opposite happens. She looks even more breathtaking, like low-key glow-up level, and it hits him that she looks more beautiful than he ever expected. It's so unreal that he thinks it would actually be stupid if he even tried to stop her tears. Then he looks at her again and points out that, since this is the first time he's going to spill something extra, she should know one more thing. Around that time, her father was heavily invested in automobiles, literally obsessed, and this accident went down while her father was busy investigating the inventor he was backing in the industry. That's why he kept this record, because he was big confused about why the whole case got wrapped up so fast, like boom, shut and done. The concerning part? Her father had thrown a massive bag of money into various parts and ventures, so why was only half an asset left behind? Like, only a fraction of the investment remained. Which is sus. He gets up, points out that this is clearly a matter for future investigation though, and then just casually walks over to her. He kneels in front of her and wipes away her tears like some kind of K-drama lead. Enric asks her if she's finally stopped now, and she says yes. She even laughs a little, calls herself a fool, and then asks him to stay here for a little longer. He says he's got something for her, like surprise gift moment, and opens the box right in front of her, asking if she realizes that he got this just for her. And he thinks that it is going to suit her perfectly, like no doubts at all. He adds that he doesn't hold back when he gives something. It's always all in. She tells him it's unnecessary, because honestly, the information he shared with her is already more than enough. Enric just smiles at her, all calm, and says she can think of it as a token of his sincerity, or even as payment for the jewel and for answering one question. Then, out of nowhere, he wonders why family is so important to her. She admits that to her it's more than anything else, but all this time she's just been running away, making excuses, because she has let them go too easily and done nothing for them. That's why she absolutely needs to know the truth of this incident. Enric thinks she's actually fascinating, because she can feel such desperation for someone else. He wonders what it would be like if this same fierce energy was ever directed toward him, and how it would feel to be on the receiving end. A few days later, Emily is dancing when she suddenly feels her feet start to hurt. Belle notices instantly and asks her what's wrong. Emily tries to brush it off, but Belle isn't having it and says she's clearly overdoing it with all this extra practice. Emily insists that if she doesn't push herself, she won't be able to perform on stage, but Belle straight up shouts that there's no way she's letting her continue like this. She drags Emily to take a break. While they're sitting, Belle tells her that apparently there have been disappearances lately. She adds that one of the girls who usually does the cleaning has not been seen for a few days now. Belle even remembers the girl mentioning it before. Emily starts thinking about how, among the poor kids who take odd jobs at the theater, some are desperate to seize any chance to audition or prove themselves. That's why only a few volunteer as cleaners. Emily had worked pretty hard herself, saying she wanted to carve out her own path, while some kids just got dragged back home by their parents. So maybe that girl didn't vanish on purpose. Maybe she was already taken, which is way darker. By 10 p.m., Belle heads back, But Emily stays behind to keep practicing, her mind still spinning about her own family's case. The director suddenly storms in and shouts at her, demanding to know what the heck she's doing there this late. He yells at her to stop wasting time and to only practice when she's supposed to, and also to keep the lights off and stop wasting the theater's resources. She says okay and wonders why he always seems to dislike her so much. Heading home, she's exhausted, dragging her feet, when she suddenly hears a woman's voice. She opens the door and peeks inside, and what she sees shocks her utterly. She sees that it is Eva who has been flirting with the director. Emily thinks that this Eva is really a fool, and honestly, she must be crazy too. The director is telling Eva that she is right in front of him, so how can she even think of going home? They are full-on goofy right now. When Emily drops her bag in shock, the director says to Eva that he will go and check what it was, and he asks Eva to go through the back door. Emily is hiding when he walks toward her direction, and only when he is about to reach her, a lady calls out to him, asking if he has not left yet. He replies that he is just about to head out after doing the last inspection. He then asks the lady why she is there, and she answers that she was doing the same thing and is about to head back home too. But then she asks him if he is really all alone because she hears another voice just now. The director starts to lash out at her for saying that, insisting that he was really alone. The lady tells him, sure, and then tells him to be careful on his way. She then calls out to Emily. Emily looks at her, and the lady approaches and asks her to explain what exactly is going on here. After discovering the secret affair between the captain and Eva, the co-captain leaves only a cryptic order to keep an eye on them for now. She thinks that it might be for a good reason, and maybe they should get rid of the director altogether. Time flies by so quickly after that, and spring arrives before she even knows it. The 5th performance for Enric awaits her, and 1 week later the audition for La Sylphide is scheduled, but again she hurts her ankle. With so much going on, she wonders why it has to be this time of all times. This is the worst timing ever. It is literally resisting her like some cursed energy. It is indeed a disaster. She even has her 5th performance today, and she is worried out of her mind, thinking what if she collapses in front of him? Like girl, the embarrassment would be peak cringe, the ultimate flop era, and she knows it. Still, she pushes through, even as the anxiety eats her up, because her whole career feels like a please don't let me trip speedrun at this point. And hey, somehow her body feels so heavy that she wonders if it is because she has caught a fever. Like, great out of all times, this is when her body decides to lag like a glitching NPC. The Duke walks to her carriage, and she asks him what he is doing here. He replies that of course she is about to perform something precious, so obviously he had to come to get her, and he asks her to take his hand and step down. She gives him her hand and thanks him. He is really astonished to see that she can even make that kind of face too, like wow, this girl just unlocked a new expression pack. But Emily feels that this is getting bad, because her fever is getting worse. She knows she has to hold out until the performance is over, yet she loses her balance. Enric grabs her immediately and asks her if she is well. She is shocked to see him so close, and she admits that her condition feels a little off today. Enric is much too close to her now, and he says it looks like she has a fever. He pulls her even closer to him and questions whether she was actually planning to dance with this condition. Emily assures him that she is really fine and that it will not affect her dance at all. But Enric, glaring at her like a whole protective NPC with overbearing male lead DLC, says that he is not okay with that. Later, at the rest area, the aide comes and tells him that Emily has been guided to the restroom. He informs Enric that the doctor said she just has a fever and that she will be fine with some rest. Enric replies that they should also get her maid here because she will feel much more at ease if someone from her family is around. Then his aide adds that another invitation for the ball has arrived for him. Enric scoffs, wondering why the crown prince is so obsessed with him. Like, bro, get a hobby. He asks his aide to handle this invitation the same way he did with the last one. But his aide adds that the crown prince specifically asked Enric to come and show his attendance at the ball. Now Enric is stuck between babysitting a feverish ballerina and dodging royal clinginess. Enric honestly can't believe that he really gets asked to come, even though he has hated clinging to the ball that much, because whenever he appears in front of him, he literally can't control his scowl. Like, bro, it's actually kind of funny, and to him it feels more like some over-the-top scheme cooked up by his nephew. His aide, all calm and collected, assures him that he will investigate the attenders and the preparations for the ball, and that's actually a good idea for Enric. But still, Enric wonders what the heck his little nephew is scheming this time. Is it that he wants to use the ball to forge ties with the foreign countries and flex some diplomatic strength? He really can't figure it out, like what the actual heck the Crown Prince is even thinking of. Neither the Crown Prince nor his father, who also happens to be Enric's brother, makes sense to him. He can't understand either of them, just like back when he was younger, when he used to be looked at by his parents from the perspective of someone like him. He wonders if it is natural that he can't understand them. Parents and love can never be fair. That's something he realized way too early. Because wherever his parents' attention reached, his brother was always there first, always the golden boy, while he himself was destined to be nothing but the shadow of his brighter sibling. And he learns to just stay quiet and not think about anything, because what else is there to do? His parents once utter words that erase his existence completely, and he also has to swallow those words without any resistance, like gulp it down raw with zero seasoning. Their affection has no access to spare, no leftover crumbs of love for him, and that fact stays stuck like a glitch in his chest forever, as if to tell him to abandon the foolish greed toward politics and all that power-chasing nonsense. He once loved the life exactly as it was handed to him, exactly as they wanted him to love it. So he turned all his attention toward the arts, filling the silence around him with colors and sounds. But something like that could never fully satisfy his thirst. It was like sipping soda when you're craving water. Then one day, when he saw the dance of Emily, something appeared before him, something he instantly knew he would want to keep seeing for his whole life. The more he learned about her, the thirst that always clung to him was gone, as if she had unknowingly quenched it. Only now he feels a slight fever rising, but he thinks that she probably brushed it off, saying it's nothing. And he wonders, what if the dance is not what he looks at on the stage? What if it is her, all of her, shining through every movement? The scene shifts to Emily, who is lying in bed. Her maid arrives, asking how she is feeling. Emily, slightly confused, asks why she is here. The maid explains that the Duke himself summoned her here. Emily is shocked to learn that it was Enric who did this. Her maid sets the tea carefully on the side table and tells her to drink it and rest well. After the maid leaves, Emily stirs along with the tea, wondering if she is getting too comfortable in someone else's house. But it's not like someone is actually going to come barging into this room, right? Still, Enric's tense expression keeps bothering her. It didn't suit him at all. She plans to keep her ankle injury a secret, brushing it off as if it's no big deal. Just then, someone knocks at the door. She hesitates but goes to check who it could possibly be at this hour. Her eyes widen when she sees that it is Enric himself. He asks if she is awake, and she mentions that she was just about to go to bed. He immediately questions her about her fever, and she assures him that it is much better than before. He then leans toward her, placing his forehead against hers to check for himself. She pushes him away, commenting that it can be checked by hand too. But he reasons that this way seems more certain. She grows shy, flustered, and comments that it's late at night, and if someone sees them like this, they will think strangely of it. He leans in closer, his voice low, asking who exactly is going to see them, and if she thinks not, then maybe he might do something strange to her. To riz her even more, he calls her name, stretching it softly, making the air between them feel like it's sparking. She gets all blushy and makes it clear that this is not what she means at all, but he is totally unfazed. He knows that the auditions for her new performance are coming up next week, and he low-key just wants her to land an important role in it, since she is someone he is sponsoring after all. He tells her not to stress too much and just do what she always does, because this time the result will come from what she has already shown. And as she mentions that it is late, he takes his leave and asks her to get some rest too. Emily stays there with her heart completely melted, like she just got soft-launched into a romance drama. The next day at the company, Belle asks her if she has submitted her application. Emily confirms and adds that this time, she has applied for the solo. Belle, being nosy as usual, asks if she has applied for the sylph, but Emily shakes her head and explains that she went for the Effie role instead. This shocks Belle, because, hello? Why would she not go for the main lead? Emily just smiles and says she wanted to do Effie this time. But the real tea is that she thinks it is not the right time to chase the lead role. If she really got that lucky and scored the lead, her uncle might catch the rumors and reappear again, pulling his dusty stunt of trying to snatch away the royalties she would get for playing the main part. On top of that, Enric's contract is also weighing heavy on her, like an invisible terms and conditions tab she can't close. Belle, however, is still stuck on the vibe shift, wondering why Eva looks so ridiculously happy about all this. Eva just smirks at Emily like she's holding a secret playlist no one else has access to. Right then, the auditions start, beginning with the sequential roles, the most familiar ones first. The room fills with tension like it's loading into a boss battle, and soon it is time for the Effie role, the one Emily applied for. After Emily finishes her piece, the vice director claps enthusiastically and says she did a great job. But then the crusty, ugly director decides to rain on the parade, claiming that she danced way too arrogantly, making it feel like she was totally self-absorbed. He throws shade, saying that if she really wanted to stand out that much, she should have just applied for the lead role. The vice director, however, is not having it and cuts him off, pointing out that he is going way too far. As the actual expert, she insists Emily's performance was perfect, while what the ugly director said feels more like a personal attack, fueled by petty emotions, not legit criticism. The director starts shifting the whole vibe into pure chaos, blasting the vice director with questions as if she even knows what she's talking about. He flexes his so-called experience, bragging about how he has been in this business for years, and then, in peak toxic boomer energy, he asks if she really wants to get fired. The other judge step in, telling him to chill because auditions are still going on, but this man is deep in his villain arc. He admits he never liked her from the start and throws in a personal dig, saying that with her kind of aggressive attitude, no wonder no one wants to marry her. Like, bro, where did that even come from? The misogyny is loud. Suddenly, the theater manager arrives, announcing that he heard today was audition day, but all this sounds way too noisy. The director, not ready to stop, says it only got noisy when he was trying to lecture his subordinates, but the theater manager claps back, asking if he even has the authority to lecture anyone here. The director looks confused, but the manager then drops the bomb. Both he and Eva are dismissed.